It is my privilege to introduce the guest speaker for today's session, Sir Vaibhav Aphle. Sir, may I have the permission to begin the session? Equipped with 11 plus years of experience with the responsibility of managing talent agenda for consulting, information technology, inside sales, risk and research business teams across Asia, Europe, and USA, Sir has been associated with companies like Deloitte Consulting LLP and Infosys Limited. Currently, Sir is the Manager HR at CRISIL Limited. Here to discuss campus to corporate transition, without any further ado, please welcome Sir Vaibhav Aphle. Over to you, sir.
Hi everyone, how are you? Okay, so I think let's start. So what I will do is I'll begin with your expectations first, that what exactly you are looking for this session, right? I will take my agenda later on, but then it is very important first, for you to come ahead and tell us that what exactly is, your approach and how do you want me to take up the session. So anyone, do we have the whiteboard? Okay. Okay. So who's going first? Please speak up. It is for you, it is not for me. Yeah.
So, good afternoon, sir. I'm Diksha Gaikwad from Singrauli, Madhya Pradesh. So, basically, we can discuss the agenda of the corporate, like what are the working styles for every domain. Like we have the specialization in marketing, HR, and finance.
Okay.
So, what are basically the work role, job role, expectation versus the reality?
Okay.
One point could be this.
Understood. What else, guys?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Rashi Mudholkar. My question is, how do you define your USP?
Okay. Understood. Okay. Thank you. What else? Guys, you guys are actually moving into corporate, so it's time to speak.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Srishti Vamne. So my expectations are, what are the basic skill set irrespective of the domain that freshers lag in?
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. I would like to know whether one should be Dora the Explorer in the beginning of their career, or one should have an eagle's eye of what industry they would like to work in.
Okay, so you would like to know the vision, how it needs to be. Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. So let me start by asking, few questions to you guys. Okay, so you guys are into first year of your MBA, correct? And when are you starting your internship? Sorry? 18th April. Okay. So what if you don't land up into getting a job which is not of your choice? What will you do?
Something rather than sitting just idle,
Okay.
because it will eventually help me to learn something, even though if it's of not my will, but I'll gain something.
Okay. Anyone else would like to attempt? No?
So as it's fact of life that every time things doesn't happen according to the person. So I'll definitely go with the Tushar's point, like it would be the opportunity for us in the new phase, because it's just a starting. We need to mold ourselves. It might be good for us in the near future. Right now we are finding it's not good, but in the near future, if we learn the skill and develop it according to the needs, we might find fit for ourselves. So I'll definitely try to learn and gain move out from that.
Okay. How many marketing over here? Finance? HR? Only 3? 4? Okay. So, see, it is like, very good approach that life doesn't work like the way we want it to be. Obviously, it has like multiple steps, multiple things, that we have to go through. But then, are we really that optimistic while we start working? Is that the question that I'm talking to you about? Because reality is we are talking a lot about optimism, about being positive, but then what happens when we go on the ground? Things change, right? It's not about being optimistic, it is about how we look that problem and look that solution that we can work for that problem. Okay? So, okay, let me start with the presentation. दिए ना पेन ड्राइव So while I was having a discussion, so I thought that campus to corporate is very cliched. Okay, what's new that we can talk about? Okay, so I have titled it as World of Opportunities. We are living in a world where we have immense opportunities, right? It's not only the job that we have to do in future. Other than the job also, there are multiple things that we can do. Okay, so I'll start with how actually I got placed 11 years back. So I did my MBA from Indra Group of Institutes. Okay, and Deloitte I think was the third campus which came, and I thought that that's the best time that I should sit in the placement and get some at least learning that how things happen. At the same time, actually I was working in one of the companies. I was mostly doing my internship over there. Okay, and I got to know that Deloitte is coming. So I came very late because that company was in Kharadi and I used to stay at Wakad. So I reached home at around 10:30. I was fully exhausted, and I thought that should I read about Deloitte, how things are, what that company does. I started reading, but I fell asleep. Next day 9 o'clock there was the interview process that started. Surprisingly, I was one of the candidates over there who got interviewed over there after my GD. Okay, so because group discussion is the first round that happens normally at the placement. It was not a normal group discussion, right? Like a fish market that we have seen or maybe we have experienced also, right? It's not a fish market. It was like there is SV Nathan, who was the director of HR, who came to our campus. He said that we will not have a group discussion. We are 10 people sitting over here. I will give you 3 topics. You have to choose one topic and you have to talk about it, but not together. I'll give you 12 seconds. You have to prove your point. After 12 seconds, you will not get a chance. That's like win or lose. That's how it is. So he gave 3 topics, out of which 2 topics were extremely difficult to understand. We are like, sir, we didn't understand what you are saying. Third topic was a bit easy to discuss, so we thought that we'll go ahead with third topic. He said, why third? I said, because first 2 topics are actually very difficult to understand, and that's when we will not be able to talk. We will not be able to discuss about that topic. So he said, okay, let me explain you how the first 2 topics are. He explained it, and then he said, okay, let's go ahead with third. Then we started talking about that particular topic, the third topic which we finalized. Every 12 seconds, everybody used to speak. Once the entire lot was done, he picked up 3 people from there. Luckily, I was the one. Okay, he picked up only 3 because, see, if you have that something in your mind, right, you can just speak and you have to finish it. When we talk about group discussion, it's like there are thoughts that come into our mind again and again, and we tend to speak about it, and that's when it becomes a fish market, right? But we have to be very clear that what we are thinking and what we have to say, right? That's very important. So that 12 seconds actually was the time that we have to decide that what we have to speak, and basis that we cleared our group discussion. Okay, now interview round. Very difficult. We thought it was not that, because see, being a fresher, people will not expect that you should have a great knowledge about any of the fields that you have opted for. It's not about that. It's all about the right attitude first. Second, your skills. For example, Nathan asked me, Vaibhav, you are a brand. 2 seconds, give me a tagline. What tagline? That point of time, I remembered Accenture ka tagline. It was like, I think, performance delivered or something like that. So I created something for me. He was very happy. To the point answer, that too in a fraction of seconds. Okay. Now, he asked me that whatever you have listed down in your CV, I will not ask you that. Right? I will ask you the approach. How do you want to execute a problem? Right? If you have. For example, if you are not able to cover the entire portion of your syllabus for the exam, how will you manage? Right? That's a problem solving. Correct? You cannot say that, no, maybe I'll not appear for the exam, or maybe I'll not pass the exam. That cannot be the way out. Right? There needs to be some way out. Right? That you have to think and you have to talk it about. Okay, so let's move. So very rightly said, ignorance is not a bliss, right? Don't ignore anything which is there right now. So first topic I would like to cover is switching gears. Okay, it's like you are moving from campus to corporate, correct? So what do you think corporate life is about? Anyone? Right now you are a student, you are doing your MBA. How it will change for you when you become, say, an employee? Anyone? I'm sure you would have thought about it, right? Because you are just one step behind moving to a corporate industry. High stakes, absolutely. What else? More responsibilities. Achieving targets. Okay, you are marketing?
Yes.
I know. Okay. Survival of the fittest. Okay. Sorry? Time management. Okay. Take responsibilities. Manage the wealth of the organization. Okay. Okay. Anyone from there?
So right now we are working hard to pass. At that time we will work hard to
So you have to work hard throughout anyways. There is no other option. Okay. Yeah.
So right now we are working for ourselves.
Fantastic.
So whatever we are learning here, we will apply the same on the corporate level.
Absolutely. Okay, move next. I'll talk about first glance, craft your career, juggling mindsets, culture and values, which is always there in the organization that you have to be very much aware of. Okay, move to the next slide. So as a student, you are learning right now. As a professional, learning, earning and yearning. Correct? It's only learning right now, correct? You are making a foundation for yourself. But what's next is you have to implement what you have learned so far, right? Then again, you're building a foundation and next time you'll be building yourself. Right now you have freedom to do many things. What's next? You will have a lot of responsibilities. Okay. Responsibilities will not be like you have to handle a family. It will be your own responsibility. Correct? Exams. I think that's the toughest part. Right? What's next? Appraisals. Then right now it is I, me, myself. Right? I have to do this. I have to pass my exams. I have to deliver. Right? When you move to corporate, it is always about the teamwork. It's like we have to do it collaboratively. It's not about me, it's all about us. That's how the difference is. Okay? Any doubts over here? Anything that you can think or maybe want to ask? No? Okay, let's move ahead. Just see if you can play the video. If you click on the black part, just a the video here, it was a video over here. ठीक है, no problem. I think that video is not working over there. Maybe I'll just show you from over here. What did you see? No, what is this first? Tell me. Pit stop. Do you know that what was the time when the car was there? Anybody else? Anyone? Huh? It's okay, yaar. It's a rough guess. Okay. It's 3 seconds. Right? So in 3 seconds, the workers over there, they have to change the tire of the car, right? So that car can move smooth. Now, what is at stake? Like you spoke about stakes, right? What is at stake? Driver's life. What else? Obviously. What else? Winning and losing. Yes. Price, okay. Time management, okay. Have you seen any one of you Final Destination? I don't know which part, but then there was, this car racing that happened and there was a big blast that happened over there. Okay. I think it can happen over there also if the work is not done properly. right? So it's not only about driver, it's not only about the workers, it's not only about the car, it's all about the entire place where the audience is watching. It can be a disaster, correct? Just a small thing, but it can become a disaster if things are not done right. If we can move to the next slide, please. So what is RFT, right? Right first time, okay? And what is the mindset? It's not about being perfect, never. We all are not perfect, but then what we are doing right now, we can do things with perfection by learning, okay? Recognizing the high cost of quality issues. As I've told you, if the quality is not maintained, if the quality is not delivered, what is the cost implication? I think it's humongous, right? Continuously think of the places where flaws may be introduced. When we start working, so today also when you are a student, right, you know that what are the flaws in you and where you have to work on, right? But then we hardly think about it. We just go with the flow that we have to, we have to learn, we have to give exams. That's how it is, right? But then where are our flaws and how we have to work on those flaws, it is very important, correct? And that's the classic example how the pit stop works, right? Let's go back. It says where there are zero defects, there are no costs associated with the issues of poor quality, hence the quality becomes free. Just for example, okay, this pit stop, if anything happens, what will happen? You have to again rework on the same things again and again, right? We have to work on the entire stadium, we have to work on the car, we have to work to get the new drivers. For that, cost is involved, right? If we deliver with a high quality, these costs are actually coming for free. The quality is coming for free, correct? That's how it happens in the organization also. When we start working somewhere, it's about the quality that matters. We can give enough of chances to anybody to work on certain things again and again, but then there's a high cost which is involved, correct? That's how it is. Very simple. Go to the next slide. Okay. See, it is our brand where we work. I'm sure that you would have decided at least that this is the company I would like to go for, I would like to work for. Anyone? Which company? Higher, okay. Anybody else? Musk, okay. You guys, I think everybody should have done that. Deloitte. Tata, okay. Crystal, okay. S&P Global, okay. Who else? Deloitte. Nothing from there? Amazon. So you know your companies, right, where you want to work with. So when you start working over there, you are working for a brand, right? And you work for a brand, that means you have to take that responsibility of sustainment of that particular brand, right? We cannot let the brand down because of our poor performance, right? Second is customer expectations. I'm sure that marketing people will have different clients, finance will work with different clients, HR will work with people who are their customers, right? So everybody will have to work for their customers. So their expectations are very different. Are we able to leverage our expertise with their expectations? That is something which is very important, okay? Then is personal credibility, self-esteem. It is very important. If today anybody comes and humiliates anyone, I'm sure that nobody will like it, right? So obviously we want to be perfect, we want to have that credibility wherein somebody comes and asks, Vaibhav, this is something which we want from you. I'm sure that you will give with a high quality of work, and that's when I have reached out to you. That's what the credibility is, correct? So I'm not asking you to be a perfectionist, but then this is the time when you can build that perfection, and when you start working, you implement that perfection over there. That is very important, okay? Okay, crafting your career. So any doubts so far that you guys have? Anything that pops up your mind? No? I know it's like a weekend and we are standing over here in the afternoon, but still, do you think that why this is important, why this is something which we have to learn, why this is something which we have to go and implement over there? This is not a rocket science, trust me. But then when I was your age, I didn't realize this. So I am from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Okay. When I started my schooling, it was all Hindi sider people over there. Okay. Everybody was like, यार English में बात मत कर, ठीक है, ज़्यादा English मत झाड़. I'm sure that people would understand this, right? Obviously, then that was the time. Then we never picked up that English language that we should have to, speak in the corporates. Then I did my graduation over there. I did my schooling. I did my graduation from Bhopal itself, and I came to Pune for my MBA. It was tough. It was extremely tough because the kind of people which we have to compete with. See, in the placements, it was not only Indira College. It was Indira. It was Balaji. It was some other colleges which used to have a joint campus. Right? It's not only about our campus, it's about different campuses that we have to compete with. Where do I stand is something which we have to evaluate. Right? My English was extremely pathetic over that time that I was like, I have watched so many, TV series or maybe English movies just to boost up my English language. I used to read newspapers. I used to work a lot. So that's how I built up my language over there. So nobody has that skill that is like by birth. We have to work on those skills. We have to evaluate ourselves that where we are lagging behind. That's more important, because tomorrow if we have to sit in a placement with 100 other people, how are we going to compete? Anybody tell me that you will be the one who will get selected in the placement? If you have to compete with 100 people, that's the confidence. Why you don't have that confidence? Why say no? Why say no? See, I mean, at this point of time, your energy levels needs to be that high wherein you can make a difference, right? Because obviously when we age, that energy goes down. But this is the time you have to show your energy that this is something which I have to make a difference. Correct? I'm sure that people comes with some family responsibilities. People come with, say, education loans that I have also had taken, I have to pay it off, right? So it's like there are multiple responsibilities that we have to work for. Correct? But then if we don't have that self-confidence, I think the battle is lost over there. It's all over here. It's not about your skills, it's not about anything. It's all about your attitude and your energy levels that you have to boost up. Okay? So I think be charged up any time of the day. My CHRO, Chief Human Resource Officers, whatever energy level he has at 9 a.m., he carries the same energy level at 10 p.m. at night. Same energy level. Because he has to interact with all the global heads. He has to interact with multiple people at different locations. Right? If you have seen my introduction, I have actually catered US, UK, Australia, China, Poland. I work with all the country heads. And right now my global head is in America. He's an American. Right? I faced a lot of challenge while I have to speak with him because of the American accent first. Plus he calls me at 12 a.m. He calls me at 2 a.m. This is what we have to do, Vaibhav, because I am the HR. And that is his time of working. I cannot change anything. Right? But then can I say no? No. We have to, right? And can I just talk to him? Yes, tell me. He's like, boss, I'm not speaking to you. Correct? That credibility is gone. So you have to charge up yourself and you have to, speak for yourself. That's more important. Okay? Go to the next one, please. Okay, so I'll talk about career over here. These are the things which are very important for a career when you have to grow. Okay, I'm sure this is you will find very easily on the internet. But what exactly is this? Can anyone tell me? Or maybe what is the most important in this part? Vision, okay. What else? Ambition, okay. Plan, okay. Work, okay. Learning. What else? Vision, okay. Great. Learning, okay. Integrity, okay. I think we have covered everything. What is the last one? Skills.
It's the last one. So after learning, we got the skills which let us build our career.
Okay, okay. I'll just show you something. If you're not able to see, just hear it.
What's interesting is that it is now 25 years since you got your MBA.
So this is the interview between Tim Cook, who is the CEO of Apple, and one of the interviewers who's taking this interview. The title is 25-year plan. Okay.
And as part of your MBA experience, you were asked to write a 25-year plan. I was. How did that work out for you?
There was a professor, I think his name was Dr. Naylor. Does that sound right?
Tom Naylor.
Yeah, Tom Naylor. And he was a great professor, and one of the things that he asked us to do was to write a 25-year plan. Maybe some of you have had to do this. And it was more of a personal plan. Normally I would never remember this, but I was doing a commencement address a few years ago, and I was scrambling for some old things, and I found in a box this plan. And this plan had turned yellow because of age. But I looked at it, and I would say it was reasonably accurate for all of 18 to 24 months after it was written. And it was nothing, there was nothing, not a single thing on it that was accurate post that. Not a single thing. Zero. And I think that the lesson there is, at least for me, maybe you guys will be different, maybe you have much more insight into what you may be doing, but for me, the journey was not predictable at all. And it goes sort of back to the Lincoln quote, is the only thing I believe you can do is prepare. And the world is going to change many times. The environment's going to change many times. The companies you work for are going to ebb and flow. You may wind up in the same company, you may not. You may wind up in the same career, you may not. You may wind up with the spouse you're married to now, you may not. There are lots of things in your life. I hope that one doesn't change. But there's lots of things that change, and I think that you sort of have to have a North Star and stay with the North Star and let those things go on about you and sort of find your journey.
What did you learn from this? Okay. But what is the keyword? No. Experience, no.
Predict that he
No.
use.
Anyone would like to attempt? It's prepare. Right? Whatever you are doing, you may end up doing certain things. Wherever you are working, you might leave that job, you take up something else. right? But then things will not go as per the plan always, right? And that's when you have to be prepared for what is coming next. Okay? When I started my journey with Infosys, I had a very bad manager. Very, very bad manager. I shouldn't have said this, but then, see, I mean, it is always better to share the experience. Okay? My manager was extremely bad. If your manager is bad, obviously your growth is very limited, right? Whatever you do, there is no merit in that. There is no recognition. But then what I have to do is I have to make myself motivation, I have to work, right? So nobody else will come to you and support you or help you. It is like you are by yourself when you have to start, and you have to be prepared in whatever is coming next. Okay? So there is a very classic example. When you go to a circus, you have seen the net over there. What is that net for? Whose safety is that for? The artist? Anyone else? That safety net is not for the artist, it is for the circus. Okay? It works with the organization as well. There is a safety net which your manager will create for you. Correct? But it is always for the organization. Your manager will work with you, but then if anything goes wrong, it is just because that company is at stake. Right? That's the reason there is a safety net which manager have to make sure that things are going right to the client, so that the company name remains intact. There is no damage to the credibility of the organization. He will come back to us, boss, this is not right. Correct? So if we have that kind of a comfort zone when you start working, that is not the right approach. We shouldn't have any comfort zone. We should not be. I mean, see, we belong to different places. We are working over here in Pune, or maybe we are studying over here in Pune. Do we have a comfort zone over here? We have, right? But still, you have that faith in taking that leap if you want to take some job in any other place other than Pune, right? You can go, right? If somebody say Deloitte, it offers you a place in Hyderabad, job opportunity in Hyderabad, will you guys not go? You are moving out of your comfort zone. That was the first time I went to Hyderabad by myself. I was in the train. There was a couple who were talking about, few things in English, right? Urdu or Hindi or whatever it was, because it was like mixed language, what Hyderabad talk about. Dosta ko party dena, like that. But then they were so helpful that they arranged a cab for me, knowing that I was the first timer to come to Hyderabad and I have to join Deloitte. Right? You will always get someone who will help you, but then you have to go anywhere by yourself. That is something that builds a confidence in you. Correct? So, okay, so I'll talk about this. See, vision is very important, but what very important over here is learning. It's not about the learning that you are doing right now. It's all about the life learning. Correct? Because when you start working, it's not always about your skills. You have to interact with so many other people. You have to interact with so many new people. Right? How will you have to manage? Right? Secondly, when you meet new people, there are different learnings because everybody is different. Everyone's personality is different. I'm sure that when you started working, or maybe when you started studying over here, when you guys met for the first time, there are few people who liked each other, there are few people who didn't like each other. It's okay. Because everybody is different. Right? So that's the learning that you have to carry. Go to the next one, please. So I'll very briefly talk about this. Go to the next one. Yeah. Okay. Generations. You interact with your lecturer over here, your professors. How old are they? Your age? No? Older? Does your thought process match? Partially. But still, they have that kind of a capability of coming to your level and they have to, teach you. Correct? When you start working, your managers, your seniors, they will not be of your age. If you look at over there, there are multiple generations that we have to work with. Maybe we come into, I mean, at least I come into category of say Gen Y and you guys are Gen Z. You guys have a very different expectations. There are some people who are very traditionalist. This is how it used to be, this is how it needs to be right now as well. But then for the ones who are working right now, no. Either this is my way or I'll leave. This is how the expectation is. It's not about your fault. It's all about the generation. That's how we grow. If you say today, the very small kids, they like to play with tablets, they like to play with mobiles. In my age, there was no mobile when I was born. Right? I picked up my first mobile phone when I was in 12th. Correct? But the generations are very different. So you have to work with multiple people over there. Are you ready? Is what my question is. Correct? Acceptance is the key. If you are very apprehensive when taking somebody or talking to someone, then things will be very difficult. Correct? You have to talk to people, you have to know about them, especially for HR guys and marketing guys. That is very important, because marketing, you have to sell something to the clients. Unless you know your client, even personally, you will not be able to sell anything. There was a movie which I watched some time back, I don't know. So I don't remember that name. So this was a guy who was going to sell water purifier to someone's house. So he went over there, he just went over there and he asked for a water. So, the lady got the glass of water in front of him. He's like, sorry, I cannot have this water. Why? What happened? No, it's not safe. Okay, then the lady said, why it is not safe? Then he showed the TDS and there were some particles which was in the water. Then the lady said, okay, what should I do? Buy this purifier. Right? See, if I directly go over there that I am here for selling a purifier, I cannot. Unless I know the pain point. Unless I know that what exactly is the customer need. Similarly, I think for HR folks also. For me, it is very important for me to know people. If I don't know my people, I will fail as a HR professional. Correct? Because it is human resource. Your professionalism, your specialization says humans. If we don't know about humans, then unfortunately we are not doing well in what we are doing. Correct? So that's how it is. When we have to juggle with different mindsets in our office, we have to be very calm and we have to be adaptive in a nature that this is something which we have to work with. Right? There is no yes or there is a no. It's like this is something which is coming in front of me. What is right, I will have to do it. Okay? Go to the next one, please. So this is the generation mix that we have. So maximum people, if you see, are generation Y. But there are actually 2% who are traditionalists. There are few people who are baby boomers. Correct? So my only point is, there's a fair mix of employees who are working in an organization. So when you talk about corporate industry, when you go over there, you have to deal with all these mindsets. So you be prepared for that. Okay? Go to the next one. So these are the basic, very important fundas of corporate culture and values. Every corporate industry, every company, every organization actually has built a foundation on these things. First is equality, very important. We talk about equality a lot, that everybody should get a fair chance of what they are doing. Truth, very important. Honesty, truth, it is very important in an organization. Integrity. Who can tell about integrity? What is it about?
Doing the right thing when nobody is watching.
Exactly. Okay. Then teamwork. We work as a team. Right now we are individuals, but then tomorrow we'll work as a team. Okay. Go to the next one, please. Again, I have just summed it up very well that these are the few things which are extremely important once you go into the corporate sector. It will take time for you to develop these, but it is very important. Are you guys able to see? I'll just read it out. Confidence, time management, teamwork, email etiquettes, communication skills, work ethics, presentation skills, and personality grooming. Okay? Any doubt so far? Anyone?
Sir, I would like to know, how did you learn to sort of improve networking skills while you were doing your MBA and this stuff?
Okay. So actually, when I was in Bhopal, okay, when I was doing my graduation, I was always, with my friends, okay, and it was like just because we have a good tuning together, so that's why we call it as a friend, right? So my circle was very limited, and it was like over here, if I have to bunk classes, if I have to go anywhere, it was always my friends which were along with me. But when I moved for my MBA in Pune, things were very different. I have seen people who lie on your face. I have seen people who are dishonest. I have seen people who will not support you. I have seen people who will actually bite you from behind, right? But then what is the solution? I think there is no solution to it. We just have to be what we are. Okay? Second important point is talk to people, right? See, if I am very apprehensive that I'll not talk to that person just because that person is very bad, that's not the case, because tomorrow we have to deal with multiple people even if we don't like them. Correct? So we have to learn to understand that how that personality is and how we can balance out our understanding with that communication. We don't have to actually work with that person. We don't have to make him friend. We just have to be in our limits, and we just have to talk or maybe share that goodwill between two of us. That's it. That's more important. When we start doing that, people will start knowing you and say tomorrow, today if maybe they are not good at your face, but tomorrow they will respect you for what you are. Okay? That is more important. Go to the next one. This is very close to my heart, which is communication. If we don't communicate, battle is lost. I'll be very honest over here and be very straightforward. If we don't talk, if we don't use this, unfortunately there is nothing. We have to stand up for ourselves and we have to voice out what we are trying to say. There was one leader who came to Crystal office and asked our employees, boss, you work with the clients, right? If you don't give your opinions, why will client respect you? If you don't read, if you don't have anything to talk about, why will somebody come to you and ask for something? Correct? Then, if we don't use this, communication is the key wherever you go. It's not about corporates, it's not about anything else, even in college also. When we are attending a lecture, if we don't ask questions, your lecturer will not know you. Your mates will not know you, because we are so heavy numbers in the class that people will not know you. But then when you start speaking, people will talk to other friend, यार ये मस्त बोलता है यार, उसको इसके पास कितना knowledge है. Correct? Then why not start from today? Yeah? I started very late, but then I don't want you guys to actually suffer when you start working in the corporates, because communication is very, very, very important. Okay, go to the next one. Human voice, as I told you. Today I am speaking in front of you, right? Not because I am actually a speaker since the time I have been born. I've actually, worked hard. I have gone to multiple schools. I have gone to multiple colleges. I've practiced at home a lot. That's when I can speak in front of you guys. Otherwise, it is very difficult for anyone to communicate or maybe talk to some other person who they don't know. Okay? Go to the next one. How many of you know this? How many of you have these habits like gossiping, judging, negativity, complaining, excuses, lying, dogmatism? It happens always, right? I think everyone, even I do that at times. Gossip तो हम बहुत करते हैं. Back benchers जो बैठते हैं, हम लोग भी बैठते थे यार. We have done a lot of gossiping. It's okay. Nothing to be shamed of. Then judging, we judge people. On the face value, we judge people. Right? How many of you have done that? I have done that. Negativity, वो तो भर भर के है हमारे अंदर. Right? That, negative, first thought that comes to mind is the negative thought. ये नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा? Correct? Complaining. Everybody does. Right? यार ये अच्छा नहीं था वहाँ पे. This is very bad. ये चीज़ नहीं काम करेगी. होता है यार. करे. Excuses. कॉलेज नहीं जाना, तबीयत ठीक नहीं है. वर्क फ्रॉम होम में हम लोग के साथ बहुत हुआ है. लाइट नहीं है. Lying. Not a good habit, but then we have done that at one point of time. Dogmatism. It's like there is no fact. It's about what I'm saying is right. Even if I know the fact, but then still you have to go with what I'm saying. That is called as dogmatism. See, in every phase of life, we have done something or the other. Correct? Go to the next one. So these are the foundations of a powerful speech, and there is a word which is called as hail, which has come out of these. So H is for honesty, which is be clear and straight. Then authenticity, then which is be yourself. Then I is for integrity, be your word, and L is for love. I'm not talking about romantic love over here. It's all about wishing somebody well. Correct? See, these are the four foundations of how we have to speak. For example, if I'm coming over here and I'm like talking to you, so guys, this is the communication part. You have to look at this. This is very important when you go to the corporate sector. How will you feel? It is like a monotone, it is very monotonous. Correct? If I have to like ask somebody, where are my keys? I can ask, where are my keys? Right? If I have to say something, please listen to this very quietly. See, these are the tones that we speak. Right? People appreciate that. People love hearing that. At times when I was in Deloitte, I was hearing one of the town halls of S.V. Nathan. That man speaks amazing. The kind of tone that he uses, the kind of oration he has done, that is certainly amazing. I love hearing that person. There are people who have that kind of a speech, and that's the way that they communicate, that we'll love to hear them most of the times. That's how I think we should develop ourselves. Even today I'm not over there. Though I'm speaking about this, but then today if you ask me, I haven't done that. I'm still learning, because this is something which will not come eventually. It will take a lot of time for you to develop that skill of speaking. But then if you don't speak, what will happen? Okay, go to the next one. This is very important when you speak. Know your audience. You should know your people when you are talking to someone. If you are talking to a leader, you should make sure that you prepare yourself while talking to a leader. I'm sure that you would have interacted with kids who are very small. हम लोग कैसे बात करते हैं उनसे? उनके लेवल पे जाके बात करते हैं, right? We don't talk to them like we are talking to our friends, or we are not talking to them like we are talking to a professional, right? Because we know that they will not understand. That's how we have to be with other people. Make a plan. Very important. If you don't have a plan, it's like you will be messed up and you will not be able to speak how you wanted to, whatever the agenda is. So make sure you have a plan. Tailor your message and deliver. Make sure you have a message which is tailored. That means which is actually crafted as per how you want to communicate to the other person. Okay? Prepare and practice. How many of you practice in front of the mirror? Nobody else? Why? Others are good in speaking, is it? That is very important. We should practice in front of the mirror to understand that where we are lagging behind. Okay? Execute with precision. What is this? when we are executing something, when we are communicating something, we have to make sure that we are very confident in whatever the message we are passing on, and that person, whether that person has understood that message or no, that is extremely important. Okay, confident. If you are not confident, people will not trust you. As simple as that. This goes for everyone with all specializations, because see, these are the things. I mean, even if you are in finance, you have to interact with the client. In marketing, it is extremely important. In HR, it is extremely important. Communication is the key. When you start, I mean, that's the first step of success. How many of you are successful over here? No one? Why? Did you get up in the morning? Aren't you successful? There are people who are actually in a state that they didn't get up in the morning. Did you have your lunch today? Aren't you successful? You are sitting in the best institute right now. Aren't you successful? You are, right? Then why do you consider yourself as not successful? Where is the definition of being successful? Just tell me, someone. What is the definition of being successful? Once you become the CEO, are you successful? Once you become a director, are you successful? No. There is no definition to a success. It is like what you have thought. If you are able to do that, you are successful. Correct? So never ever consider you guys that you are not successful. You all are successful. And at least for you, your own sake, it is very important for you to have that positive thinking in your mind that no, this is what I am and this is what I have to be in my future. Okay? Go to the next one. Any questions? So I think I'll just make sure that whatever is the ask. Expectations I have already told you, right? Very important is like first you start with your communication. Build your attitude that whatever comes to you, you will have to work. Okay? Then USP. My USP is people. Right? Because I am a human resource professional. I have actually read many books with respect to human psychology, because to understand that how people react. Correct? I am sure that you would have always seen that people who get angry, they use their hands. People who are very calm, they are very calm. They will not do anything. Why that anger came? Because our brain works like that. Correct? But then if we are sane enough to understand or execute things in our mind, that's why people call that we have to meditate a lot, because just to control our mind, right? So my USPs, I like interacting with people a lot. I like knowing people. I am a life coach also. I like helping people. That's the only reason I have picked up life coach as my alternate profession, because I have seen that people have struggled a lot, maybe even during this pandemic or maybe before. People don't have that vision that where they want to go. They have the capabilities of doing that, but then just because of the lack of vision, they are not able to see through that where exactly are they going. Okay, so that's my USP. Then experience. I've told you my experience. I've been in a situation where I was actually not able to communicate anything, but then today I'm standing over here, I'm talking to you guys, right? And it's just 11 years, there are 20 more years to go. Correct? So being successful, even I'm successful since the time I started working, since the time actually I started my MBA. I was blessed to have a good institute, I was blessed to have a good placement, and right now I'm standing over here. Okay, so you guys are blessed that you have everything what you need right now. Now it's time for you to take that first step of leap and do for yourself what you want to do. Okay? What is next? Basic skills that freshers lag. What do you guys think? You tell me. We have spoken about the presentation, we have discussed about it a lot. We'll just wrap up in 5 minutes. What do you guys think? What do you guys lag? Confidence, okay. Sorry? Attitude. What else? Experience. Experience will come here, it's okay. That's not a skill. Vision, okay. Mindset? Okay. What about communication? In this 1 hour, how many of you spoke? It's okay, yaar, I'm also talking in Hindi. Marathi पण बोलायला तयार आहे मी. But communicate. Correct? It's not about the language. Never ever about the language. Today in CRISIL, I speak to many team members in Marathi also because they are comfortable in Marathi. It's okay. I'm a Maharashtrian and I speak in Marathi. I speak in Hindi. I speak in English. Only 3 languages, that's it. But it's all about speaking. Correct? If you are not able to speak, you will not be able to reciprocate your thoughts. You will not be able to do, or maybe you will not be able to make a difference in somebody else's life. Right? And tomorrow you will be starting in an organization. Correct? So communication is something which you have to really work on. Okay? Vision. Vision, you guys know, yaar, you have decided a company that you have to go for. Just look for, see, on internet we have everything today. You find a job description of a finance student, it is there. You find a job description of a marketing student, it is there. For HR, it is there. What do you have to do? You have to just do a research. What exactly is needed? It's very simple. Presentation skills, attitude, communication skills, some strategic thinking, all these things. Is it a rocket science? No. What I am doing right now, I have started with Deloitte. I gained some experience over there. I have leveraged that experience in Infosys. My total experience began and I started working over there. My experience began for 6 years. Now those 6 years experience I am implementing over here in CRISIL with some thought process. That's it, nothing else. You learn from experience. Today you don't have any experience, that is fine, but then you will learn eventually. But right now it is always about the attitude and the communication and how you want to grow yourself. Okay? Any other doubts? Anything else? I'm sorry for being blunt, but this is the reality. And see, I'm not the one who will sugarcoat everything and tell you that, things are very fine and it will happen, because it is a competitive world. Correct? And we are living in the world where there are so many people who are competing against us, in front of us, or maybe behind us. It's just that we have to showcase that we are different and we have to work. There are immense amount of opportunities over there in the market. It's just that where you have to start with. It's just the start. Trust me. It's not about the company. Don't go with the company name. Never. Don't go with the brand name. There was one person who joined with me in Deloitte with a 13 lakh package. Fresher. She didn't like the job, what she was doing. She started looking out. Because she was not happy with what she was doing. She started looking out. No company was hiring her. Why? She was a fresher. Companies were saying that, ma'am, you are a fresher. Why? We cannot give you 13 lakh a package, right? She's like, okay, then reduce my package. No, why should we reduce the package? Is there something that happened with you in the company? It's not about the package. It's always about the job satisfaction. Today, when companies come for placement, never ever look for the brand. Brands are like, you will be placed over there. You just have to operate a machine. That's it. You will not learn. But when it is a small company, you can learn a lot. It's a growing company, you can learn a lot. And you can have that experience level when you can move to the next company and you can leverage that. Okay? Any other thing? Anything else before we wrap up? If you want any help, you can reach out to me any given point of time. See, I'm always available. I have interacted with a lot of students. I still do. So any kind of a help, if I can be, of any help, just let me know. That's okay. I'm there on LinkedIn. This is my mobile number. You can have a note. Feel free to reach out any given point of time. Okay, because this is something which I really like to do. We'll try to do that. Let's see, because I need to check with the TA team, talent acquisition team, that how it works. So I will put it across to them. Then maybe if they want to, they will reach out to the dean. Okay. SV Nathan. You can find his videos. I mean, he has different blogs and all. He writes a lot. He's associated with NGO also. Anything else, guys? No?
So, just a last question. And so, there, being from finance background, being opting for finance domain, there are many options available for the finance person. So, people are good in few of the things and might not be. So, how to choose the one? Like we are about to start our internship. We are right now going to be in the learning half of a corporate process. So what to choose in finance that we should go ahead for the future? Because a person can be good in 2 or more things. So what would be the one way to go
See,
ahead?
my first suggestion would be decide what you want to do in finance. Okay, when you go for internship, don't go with a thought process that this is I want to do. Okay, go and learn over there, because internship is always for learning. It is not for getting experience. Tomorrow when you sit for a placement process, people will ask that what you have learned from the internship and not what you have done in the internship. What are your key takeaways? If you can make a difference over there, I think that's more important, and that's what interview look for. It's not about what you want to do, but have a thought process ready that this is what you want to do in future, and prepare yourself for that. For example, I mean, in CRISIL, there are so many CAs who work for me. There are so many people who are MBA in finance who will work for me. There are people who have done CFAs and FRMs, right? Because obviously CFA and FRM are the 2 certifications who carry a lot of value, correct? That's the reason they are doing it, and that's when they get the leverage of coming into a corporate and start working over there. So you look for some certifications that you really want to do in future. Be prepared, that's it. But then for internship, I would only suggest that go with an open mind wherever you go and do what you are expected, but then make a difference over there. Have that thought process that this is what I can do over there to make a difference. Okay, just for an example, I mean, for an HR, I'm not sure in finance and marketing, but then for an HR, I went to some internship company over there. I was doing TNI, talent identification. Okay, so it's like I was given a template where we have to just capture the needs and the training requirements of the employees. But then is it very simple that I go to the managers, ask them and fill it by myself? No. I interacted with each and every employee of that organization to understand what are their training needs as per them. And to my surprise, whatever managers gave me the list was very different from what employees gave me the list for their trainings. And then I went to the VP saying that, boss, your managers have given me this list of training, but then actually it is not matching what I spoke to employees on. Because they are working on the floor. They know that what training they want to do. If we want to do some internship, obviously I can just do that. I can give the list to my VP that this is done. But then am I making a difference over there? Right? Today, those employees actually call me at times that you have come 10 years back for the internship and all that, because I have actually made that reputation with them. People know me over there. I think that's what we need. Yeah, that's what we want, that respect to come from people. So that is what it's all about. It is very simple. So just make sure that you have your thought process, your opinions, and you communicate well. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. With that, thank you so much, guys. It was very nice interaction with you. So wish you all the best for your summer internship, and feel free to reach out in case of anything. Okay. Thank you.
Unconventional GDN interview, for telling us that preparation should always be above and over our expectations, and how achieving our small goals make us successful every day. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and valuable experience. It was great to hear from someone who has already been there and done that. I'm sure this would help us in avoiding some of the pitfalls that possibly lie ahead. And thank you so much, my dear friends, for your patient listening.